Okay, this is back going into the 2018 season. So this is, it's coming off a wild card year. They were a playoff team in 2018, and Charlie Blackmon had put together back-to-back spectacular seasons in 16 and 17 to then get that contract extension. He was also going into his age 31 season, and I remember on opening day that year, I asked Bud Black, I went to the press conference and I asked him, I was like, hey, it's not common to give 9-figure extensions with guys that are already north of 30 years of age. What is it about Charlie Blackmon that you think is going to be different? And Bud Black answered the question with, well, you don't know the work ethic of Charlie Blackmon. You don't see what he puts in every single day. And it's like, well, he's a great professional baseball player. I assume he works really hard, okay? Right. But also, outside of the steroid era, decline happens to older baseball players. So now, okay, and 6 years, $108 million, Andy. Let's call it for the sake of this discussion. Let's call it 7 years, $121 million, because they gave him the last year on the deal.
Right. Fair enough.
7 years, $121 million. I went back and I looked it up on Baseball Reference last night. And again, I know that wins above replacement is not everything. It's just a catch-all. I understand that. But how many wins above replacement did the Rockies get for their 7-year, $121 million investment into Charlie Blackmon? The answer for the full length of the deal, Andy, 6.6 wins. 6.6 wins is what they got. Just for context, this year in Major League Baseball, 9 players are individually at 6.6 wins or better for this season.
What's our top couple of guys look like?
Aaron Judge at 10.3.
Wow, okay.
Bobby Witt Jr. is having a 9-win season. Gunnar Henderson's at a 9-win season. Shohei's at 8. Jaron Duran's at 8.6. Juan Soto's at 7.6.
So it's very good, but not what you consider elite, just for those of us out there.
6.6 wins over 7 years is very bad.
Okay, then. It's worse than I thought.
6.6 wins over 7 years is atrocious.
Not worth 121?
It is below a league average baseball player.
What's Chris Bryant? Oh, never mind.
Do you want me to do the math on Chris Bryant?
You could do it real quick.
We need a full season of KB.
Did you know between Charlie Blackmon over the last 7 years and the 7-year deal given to Chris Bryant, that's a $300 million investment from the Rockies.
Wins over?
That I still don't think hits 7 wins. Oh! It's very bad. It's very, very bad.
How can you figure anything for Bryant with the low number of games he's played?
I know.
Seriously.
And yet, let's see. In terms of WAR, Bryant has gone 0.4, -1, -0.7. So he's been a 1.3 wins below replacement level player. Whew. Yeah. So with Charlie Blackmon, I don't begrudge Chuck.
No. You get offered the money.
Take the cash.
Take the money. You like the town. You clearly like the park.
Right.
You are very popular.
Yes. But also, this is indicative of the bad business of this baseball franchise and the way that they operate. What his career turned out to be. When it was time to pay him, they gave him 3 more years on a deal than any smart baseball organization should have. Again, I begrudge Chuck not at all. Take the dough. But the Rockies had a loyalty to Charlie Blackmon. Dick Monfort felt a kinship with him. He had a beard. He had a mullet. He had the song. He was a guy to put on billboards.
Yeah.
For the last
and in the commercials.
Several years, a guy to put on commercials over the last several years.
Yep.
That the Rockies invested very heavily in, but as a baseball decision, I said it at the time, which again, who could have ever known? Well, basically everybody. And yet the career wraps up, and you look back on it, and ultimately it was yet another example of the Rockies spending money poorly. Charlie Blackmon was a Rocky for 14 years because the organization wanted him to be. And that's we always talk all the time about, players have no loyalty, players beg out, all those sorts of things. It's a two-way street. The organization has to want you too. And the Rockies were dying to have the services of Charlie Blackmon, who was a very good baseball player for many, many years, but down the stretch, defensively was quite poor, and the team was still paying him a hefty, hefty sum.